became man's responsibility, woman's responsibility, is to try to have joy and prosperity and peace in this system, this world, which is a lot of chaos, a lot of dis- disruption, a lot of confusion by design, manipulation. But how do we, as individuals, as families, as organizations, maintain a sense of balance and peace and prosperity in the midst of all of it? It's my I'll show you. You got an A on your paper, brother. Yes, sir. It is my art. So we just did for Minister Imhotep had his 50th birthday. 55, I'm sorry, not 50, 55. I'm cutting the brother short. He liked that probably, but he had his 55 birthday last Sunday, and when Brother Ty came up to visit with us. And we part of what a gift was for him is to make up and give him 250 business cards. Now, you know, it's a small gift, but I say that because the cards themselves are actually, you know, and I'll just pass them around for you to see. We took and used a lot of images and do my art. We put on the and Imhotep, because Imhotep has that on his license plate, do my art. So we put him on the cards for him, do my art. And it's actually the first time he's had business cards. But, you know, I mean, and I'm saying that to say that it's not that couldn't have had them, but nothing didn't seem to work. You know, so he loves those. Thank goodness, because I put in some work to I said, I hope he like them, you know. And but I say that to say we're discovering that more and more people are speaking about my art. Contrary to what it may seem, because a lot of times we as leaders, not say we, because Wosei movement is a leader. The event that Wosei was founded was a leading event. It led people into a direction that we have been hungry for. My mother was hungry for, didn't know what it was. You know, she loved Wosei. Okay, and she passed in '05, but she loved Wosei. She even went to camp with us, you know, had fun, and once she understood what was going on, and she would ask me, why do you do all the stuff you do? She hung out with me one day, and I said, well, I want to leave some kind of legacy, you know. And she said, well, I haven't, what's my legacy? I don't have one. And I laughed, you know, because I took the next hour and I told her what her legacy was. I just ran off all the stuff that she had done quite a bit in her life, you know, and just one outstanding thing, she was the first black person to receive what they call the Bronze Award. This was the highest award to be received as a civilian for the U.S. Census Bureau. In '92, she received that award. We grew up in South Central, and she was in everybody's neighborhood, how Mexican, rich, poor, like doing from 30-something years. And I say that to say we inherit that flexibility. She was able to communicate with all people. She picked up and learned some Spanish, and you know, she learned the ways of how to speak and get interest into the rich folks' homes and poor folks. And she didn't have a sense of fear. She had a sense of mission. So we picked it up. I picked it up at a young age to see how she was. And she was well trusted. All the way from the PTA, she took care of the money. And, you know, and so as we become grown, as we become young men and women, our parents, then we look at them for that man and that woman. Prior to that, sometimes as teenagers, young teen, you might, I can't stand mama, you know, daddy. whatever, and you get up, and then all of a sudden, because you're looking at that authority figure. But once you become a young man and young woman yourself, you look at your parents as men and women. You see something different. That's right. You see something different. You begin to have a certain amount of respect that goes beyond the child because you begin to understand a lot more about the efforts, about the sacrifices that your parents made, the sacrifices that they made just for small things for you. And then next thing you know, we were friends, we were buddies, the last few years with my mom. And so to see the next generation come up and be able to carry on the energy, because that's a key word today also, energy. People are using energy now in place of saying religion. People say the energy of the universe in the place of saying God. Energy is a key word all over right now in all the different disciplines. Energy. Because that's really what it is we're dealing with here. We're dealing with it when we even talk Ma'at. It brings on a certain energy within our own self. We blow up our own energy by words, certain words that we use, that we say, makes such a difference. And then when we look at words to describe, words that we use to explain mythology is, it blows the words up for us. It allows us to give some moral principles to us when we look at the myths, when we look at the stories of Heru, when we look at the different stories that we have in our own theology. It brings up so much on Kemet. You can find so many people who have dedicated themselves to passing on the word now. It's a lot out there that you could not find. I mean, we can go back maybe even 15 years, not even maybe that long. You couldn't find these subject matters. You couldn't find people that were speaking about Ma'at, were speaking about our ancestors in a way to stimulate us, in a way to spark our interest, in a way to put the sparkle in our eye, in a way to make us go do our research. You got that out there now. Wose is not the only one, but Wose is one of the first leaders. It's a leader, and when you have leaders are people that serve people. We serve the community. We serve people in order that they can reach a higher ground, in order that we can be there with them to reach a higher ground. We serve. We are servers. And, if we choose to be a leader, it's a courageous step. Because most people If they understood what it was and the energy behind being a leader, they probably would say no ahead of time. Because it is this commitment, it's a dedication, and it's a focus that takes us outside of some of the joyful things that had called in the past that we thought was pleasure we couldn't do without. It takes us to another place. It takes us to a place that is in our heart. Our heart speaks for us. In the Who Said, we have the section where it says, I spoke to my heart so that it could speak back to me. The heart's not going to steer you wrong. And when we place that energy in us to the flame to light up and to send out into the world, we're sending out learnings, our message, our teachings are from a point of we can reach down and to a point where we remember things. The more we teach, the more we focus, the more we do our research, the more we remember. The more we remember, the more we can bring out, the more we can shine forward, the more we can be a light in the darkness, the more we can lead others. And you know, we've been called and still are called many different names. You know, we get Africans, you know, we were called Moors, African Americans. We got all kind of names still today that people ain't even settled on which ones. People argue about it. But we black. Just leave it like that. But really, it doesn't matter what they want to call. Because what matters is what's in here. What matters is when we reach back and pull that energy and we get that spirit of Africans. That spirit is there, and we can argue till the end of time about what they want to call us. But we call ourselves what we choose at the time and feel is appropriate for us. But one thing that we have in common is the ancestry, is our spirit, is our legacy, is the things that we brought to this world, the things that we introduced to this world as black people, as African people, you know, as African Americans, as Africans in the diaspora, the things that we have contributed to the welfare of man, to humanity, and we will continue to contribute. And as we speak in our daily lives, as we communicate, whether it's family, friends, strangers, our way, as we communicate Ma'at, then it grows. It grows to the point where the next generation will have their own legacy. They're already starting. You know, when I look at and I get emails and I see how Ile Omade, you know, is interacting in the community. I mean, we're talking about leaders that are teaching their peers. Young people teaching their peers, because we learn by example. So if the peers are steadily seeing these young people, so we go past hope. We're actually doing some things. And I heard in the class this morning that, you know, we can get information, we can get knowledge and information, but until we do something with it, it's for naught. It doesn't mean much. So that's why I heard my new mention. It sets us free. It does. And when we're free, what we do, then you move, you try to help some other people get free. You know, so it's not going to stop for us. We keep going. We keep going. And like I say, if we get past immediate gratification, we begin to see the fruits of our labor. Parents know it, understand it. 'Cause we want immediate gratification. When we teach our kids, we want to see it right then. But it not necessarily happens that way. But you know, when you keep giving it and you keep giving it, it manifests itself because they're the ones who need it the most, the ones that seem like they're not getting it. Just keep giving it. And when they get to the point where they say, oh, okay, let me do something with my life. What is going on? It's still there. Everything you gave them. Everything you gave them is still there, and it will manifest itself, you know, at that point in time. And I have, like in the Hosea, if we turn to page 54, you can, in the book of wise instructions. At the top of the page, number 4, I'll read that because something was said in the class this morning, and it says, when the messenger of death comes to take you, let him find you ready to go to your resting place, saying, here comes one prepared before you. Do not say, I am too young to be taken. For death comes and seizes the baby while it's at his mother's breath. And as you know, we know children go just as much as elders and all in between. But what we do when we plan, what we do from womb to tomb is what matters. Those are the people that we read about in our historical tribute. What you do from the time you're born to the time you leave. What is that? What do you do? Do you have a plan? And it's got to be serving. We have people that are here in this world and accumulated quite a bit materially wise, having served one person from the heart to make a change. We have a social agenda. That's one of the 4 pillars, we'll say, to have a social agenda. And it's about change. It's about shaking off those slave mentalities, healing ourselves. And that doesn't stop. It won't stop. You know, that's something that is consistent from the time that we begin this movement. Big part of it is just shake off the psychological damage, to keep moving forward, to be stronger, to have strength, and mainly because our children can have a little more clarity, a little more freedom of movement, a little more that they can add to the pot when they go and do their thing. They don't have to repeat what we've done. We don't have to repeat what Malcolm X did. We don't have to repeat what our ancestors did necessarily. We can just take it on to the next level. And as we stand on their shoulders, take it on to the next level while we give libations to recognize that energy that they put into the universe. And as we continue to teach and to educate, because Wose comes from an educational perspective in his teachings from the ministry, education, then the world definitely becomes a better place. And that's our goal, that's our mission, to change some things, to have our children walk around and be able to defend themselves intellectually and socially.
Because he said he was gonna try and get here. He said he was coming, he would be a little late, so he is coming.
Well, you don't.
No, I said open the doors of the church.
Yes, yes, for sure.
If somebody wants to join us.
Yes, and we're here this morning in this energy called Wose. And we're going to open it up for anyone who might want to join Wose today, be a part of the movement, and work. Yes.
Yeah.
Work. That's a prerequisite. You gotta have a work attitude. That's it.
Work. That's some work.
Okay. Yeah, sweet. Coming together for our final. Oh, nobody's gonna play. Connie's not here today. Okay. Don't have to do it. All right. One.
Take announcements first, and then close first.
Oh, announcements. Well, whichever.
It's on you.
Why? Okay, well, let's do our closing song then. Okay.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the roaring sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. And now as we hold our hands up high and we give that recognition to the God that we have all been talking of and speaking of, as we have one aim, one faith, and one destiny, and one God. Let's all say the name of that one God that we've been saying since time immemorial. Let's all say together. Amen. You are the beautiful people on the face of
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Seems just like you just did that yesterday.
And also, Nico will start next Sunday. So,
Yes.
Saturday,
And
right?
so Sunday, and so everybody is encouraged to bring youth next Sunday because we're restarting our PICO. And it'll be run by Sister Akanke, Sister Tracy, and Sister Fine. PICO, for those who don't know,
Can't see you, Kankage. No,
is
come up a bit
you
more.
were up.
Yes,
our equivalent of Sunday school.
yes, that's the
How we
funny
educate
one.
our youth.
And I will clean up on Saturday. Clean up on Saturday.
Cleanup is on
Okay,
Saturday.
now you guys go back there.
Okay, I have one announcement.
Oh, no.
On Thursday night, Broccoli.
Hey,
Quiet, announcement.
I have one announcement. On
One
Thursday night,
announcement, hold up.
Hold on.
One announcement, one last announcement.
Barbara, I have one announcement. On Thursday night, my grandson Bakadi was inducted into the National Honor Society.
And one more quick announcement.
Oh, I have to be quick.
I should have let us do it before we said. One more quick announcement. As everybody knows, Brother Alaman is leaving this Thursday. The sisters have been doing a lot of work to help him prepare for his move. The sisters have asked for the brothers of Wose to step up and do some of the work. And so this Monday at 2 o'clock, some of the brothers are going to go over and pitch in and help out. The sisters have asked for the men of Wose to step up.
Yes, sir.
And so we're asking for the men of Wose to step up this Monday, 2 o'clock. We'll meet at Baba Alaman's and we'll finish whatever else
These are for
has
you,
to be
brother
done.
Alaman, these
All right.
pics.
Yes,
So
sir.
2 o'clock,
2
Monday?
o'clock Monday, tomorrow. 2 o'clock tomorrow at Baba Alaman's. All right. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay, so we're still taking pictures?
Okay.
Make a group.
No, you stay there. We will come around.
Tehuti.
Please, please.